All right, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This week is 10 areas where detached homes are getting absolutely crushed across the Fraser Valley, starting off with Central Abbotsford, down 10.6% year over year on the HPI, now at $934,000, but still above the low of $895,000 in January 2023. Talked about this a bunch of times. Prices got crazy low in the back end of 2022. I remember seeing, lots that would have sold for 1.7 mil at the peak could go for 850,000, which is insane, right? Why is this down 10.6%? Why did this make it to number 10 on the list? Well, Central Abbotsford is home to a lot of investor style properties, a lot of 1950s homes that are tear downs, development land. But the reason why it's not down even more than 10.6% is because there's also quite a bit of decent end user product in Central Abbotsford as well. So it's a bit of a mix, okay? That's number 10 on the list. Coming in at number 9, we have Bear Creek, down 10.7%, now trading at 1.247 mil, which is still above the bottom, the February 2023 bottom. Bear Creek, and you're going to see this as a recurring theme in this video, is home to a lot of larger homes, like 90s, early 2000 homes that are basically a full gut. And homes that need work, especially big homes that need work, are not selling through very easily right now because the cost of renovation has absolutely ballooned. People want move-in ready. And this area specifically, and a bunch more, they're going to pop up, and I'm going to get into this topic a bit deeper. There's a bunch of other areas that house homes similar to the ones that are found in Bear Creek. Number 8, Fraser Heights, down 11.2% year over year, now at 1.539 mil, still above the bottom of 1.582. Now, Fraser Heights is a nice area. It's an end user area. It's one of the better areas in Surrey. It's prestigious. So why is it down 11.2%? Well, here's the thing. Fraser Heights, again, another area that's home to a lot of 1990s homes that are original and basically are a full gut. Now, this is my opinion. Don't take this as gospel. I don't know if I could find data to back up what I'm saying here, but this is my feeling. My feeling is there's almost nothing worse than a 90s home that is a full gut. And the reason why is they're the biggest homes that need renovations, right? Because we didn't really build homes like an executive style home in the 90s was like 3,400 to 4,500 square feet. And that's kind of when we first started building homes of that size for the most part. Yeah, there were some in the 80s and maybe even some in the 70s, but homes really only got that big in the 90s. And now that these homes are 30, 25, 20 years old, they need renovation. And because they're so big, the cost to renovate them is atrocious, right? It's like, probably minimum 350,000 all the way up to like, 800 grand, depending on the renovations you want to do. And the issue with them is even when you renovate these homes, the floor plans still aren't going to be that great. In the 90s and early 2000s, we really compartmentalized our homes. We'd close off the kitchen. The kitchen would be kind of shoved in a corner somewhere. You would have this huge space for a living room that nobody's really going to use today. And everything had its own little area. And I don't even know how expensive it would be to actually have to change that floor plan. I'm guessing it would be a lot of money. But what I'm saying is you can spend 500 grand to update these homes and you're still going to be stuck with a floor plan that isn't current with the trends of today, right? And Fraser Heights, specifically, another area that is home to a whole bunch of these 90s, early 2000 homes that are dated and need a full gut. And there just isn't a big appetite to do a full gut on these homes, especially not right now, right? And because the cost of construction has ballooned, that means these homes, the price has to go down to compensate for how much more expensive it is to renovate them. Okay. Number 7 on the list, Surrey Central, now at 1.179 million, actually trading below 200 grand below the low in March 2023. I mean, this area is almost all just development property. It's like 1950s and 1970s homes on development lots. Developers are almost completely gone out of the market. And a lot of these homes are zoned for high rise, which, we're not building anymore, or they're zoned for condos, which nobody's building. And, again, the cost to build has gone up so much that for a developer to be interested in buying one of these, the cost of land has to come down, right? So this area is just riddled with development property or investor style product. Neither which of those buyers exist in the market today. That's why you're seeing this get hammered. Panorama Ridge down almost 12%, 11.9, trading at 1.369 million, below 1.465 million low of December 2022. Again, Panorama Ridge, another area home to a whole bunch of massive executive style 1990s to early 2000s homes that need a whole bunch of work. I sold one of these last year, and we sold $150,000 below the ask, something like that. I can't remember. We sold a big chunk below the asking price because it was a full gut and it had Poly B, which is the other thing I didn't even talk about, is that a lot of these homes that were built in the early 90s, these executive style homes, not only are you going to have to do all the cosmetics, but all the water pipings probably need to be changed too, because a lot of it's going to be Poly B, right? So probably why this area makes the list. Number 5, Morgan Creek. Now this data is very choppy because there's not a lot of inventory in this area. But again, I mean, look how choppy it is. It goes from 2.1 all the way down to 1.668. So you could probably invalidate this one, but I had to throw it on the list. But again, what is Morgan Creek home to? A lot of executive style, early 2000s style homes that need a whole bunch of work that you can't really change the floor plan, right? So you kind of see a theme recurring here on this list. Number 4, Ocean Park is down 12.2% on the year, trading at $1.556 million, below its February 2023 low of $1.681 million. Ocean Park's a great area, end user area, bigger lots. Why is it down 12.2? I think it's just expensive, man. It's just expensive. Like a starter home here is $1.7 million. If you go 20 minutes down the road to Cloverdale, that same home is like 1.25, 1.3. Right? So it's just it's kind of a luxury area. That would be my guess. Anyways, I might be wrong. That'd be my guess why this area is getting smashed. Number 3, Bolivar Heights. And again, notice how almost every single area is in Surrey. Down 13.7%, trading at $1,057,000 below its low of $1,087,000. This area is not really an end user area. The product here is really old. It's like 1950s homes. It's just not a nice area. I mean, you drive through Bolivar Heights, it's not aesthetically pleasing, right? End users typically don't want to be here. I'll say, I'll say though? I'll say that if you want to buy a detached house and you're okay with living in a house that's kind of a piece of crap in an area that's kind of a piece of crap, again, no offense if you live in Bolivar Heights, these are some cheap detached homes. Like you can probably get into this market for less than $1 million now. And if you're somebody who is looking at a townhome, like a nice townhome, the detached home will be like the same monthly carry because you don't have to pay the strata fee. So this could be like, these are basically trading at the same price as Central Abbotsford, but you're like 40 minutes closer to downtown Vancouver. So could be a good area to buy a detached home. But again, this area is just riddled with investor style product, 1950s homes, tear downs, and it's not really end user product. So the people who would buy in this area are like completely gone. There's no developers, there's no investors. You're left with end users, and end users typically don't want this area or the product in this area. Queen Mary Park down 14.5%, well below its low of 1.279 mil. Again, another area with a bunch of executive style homes that are super dated, that need a whole bunch of work, and a lot of 1950s and 70s rundown homes that are tear downs type of thing, right? Just kind of you're not seeing the nice end user areas with the move-in ready product in this list. It's all investor development, redevelopment type areas, right? Or just massive executive style homes that need a bunch of work, right? And number 1, Cedar Hills down 15.3%, now at 1.169 mil, well below the January 2023 low of 1.268 mil. And check this out, the high of 1.705 mil. This area is down $550,000 since the peak. Pretty insane. Now, this is not a good representation of the detached market. This is a good representation of the poor quality product in the detached market, which I've been talking about, is you have the good quality stuff down a couple percent, 2 to 3, 4%, and you have all of the second and third tier stuff that's down 10, 15, 20, 25%, right? So if I contrast this with like a Walnut Grove that is down 2.9%, or I go look at, a Cloverdale that's down 4.8%, Or I go look at, another good area would probably be Abbotsford East, down 2.5%. What else could I put in here? Elgin, I feel like, is going to have more executive style homes that need work, but it's only down 6.1%. Murrayville, maybe down 9. What else would be in this list? You get the idea, right? All the crap product is getting smashed. All the good stuff is holding up. If you want to watch the video I did, the same video for condos, I'll leave it right here. If you want to chat with me about buying or selling in the Valley, link down in the description. Otherwise, I just appreciate you for watching. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'll make it moves, move you. Peace.